Welcome everyone back to the UK Journeyman Save. In today's episode, we have our last two games as Man United manager in the Premier League this season. We obviously started the season at Mansfield. Thankfully for them, they are pretty much safe. I think with 2 games to go, they're more than safe. So Mansfield will still be in the Prem next season. We are unfortunately, we're really on just as safe as well. We are going to achieve absolutely nothing this year. Was definitely not the impact I wanted. I mean, if we go back to when we joined, as you can see, they were on a huge losing streak, and we really turned it around. And I thought we had a very good squad. The new manager bounce has certainly worn off. We got knocked out of the Champions League by Man City, which, to be fair, was on the red card and stuff. But since then, that has just took the wind out of our sails altogether. We lost back-to-back games to Spurs and Newcastle 2-1. We then beat Southampton 3-0, which I thought was turning the corner, but we then lost 3-1 away to West Ham. All of that means we are currently 12th in the league. Whilst we are only 4 points off 7, which is where City are, we really have to win both games and probably hope that other teams around here drop points. But I don't think enough points will be dropped for us to still get Europe. We'll try and finish as high as we can, but I really don't think we're going to get any Europe next year. So there's every chance we're only going to be in the league and obviously the 2 cups next year, but there's every chance we won't have any Europe next year. The board are not too unhappy, I guess. It's a B-, which, to be fair, is mid-table. But weirdly, we've not really improved on where we started with, which is worrying. Now, what I would say is, if we go to the club history, this is maybe not as good of a United as has been in the past, and maybe they have very much levelled out as a bit of a mid-table club. If we go back to Amorim, so he had a 20% win ratio. Obviously, that doesn't count a lot of the games. They then signed Postecoglou, who only won 26% of his games. He got sacked. They then got Inzaghi, who actually did really well. He got a 52% win record, but didn't actually win anything in that time. They then went for this guy. Inzaghi was sacked, which is quite crazy, but maybe just from not winning anything over nearly 4 years. They then got this guy. I don't know him too well. He only has a 43% win record, but he did win a Europa League with them. They then got Allegri, who won the UEFA Super Cup, which must have probably been the season after they won the Europa League, with a 50% win ratio. So they've not won the Premier League, they've not won an FA Cup, they've not won a Champions, they've not won nothing. They've won 1 Europa League and a Super Cup. And my win record is actually 53%. So even though, yes, it's a small amount, I've actually, of all the managers, I've actually got the highest win percentage. I think Inzaghi's second with 52. So whilst I'm not doing so great so far, I am still the best manager they've had in a long while, stats-wise. That's what I'm going to tell myself. And hopefully we'll increase that win percentage today because we play Ipswich and Birmingham. Ipswich are rock bottom and Birmingham at 13th. So we should be okay. We have done some transfers, but tomorrow's, or next episode, should I say, will be a transfer special. So we'll cover all of that. We still have a lot of money to spend and wage, and we've got players that are coming, players that are going. There's a lot happening, but we'll cover that all in the transfer special in the next episode. We are just totally focused on the games remaining. You can probably tell there's some players leaving by the little things anyway, but like I say, we'll talk about it in detail when we get there. This is the team we're going for the Ipswich game. We've got Torres in goal, the back four of Calafiori playing out of position at right back because Malik Tor and Wesley are both injured and going to miss the rest of the season. So yeah, there's no right back. So Calafiori is unfortunately having to do a job. De Ligt and Estrada in centre back with Dorgu at left back. Pajotto and Charles in midfield with Jakob on the right, Truk on the left, and Hoyland and Etta E. Young up top. I've swapped these two around. Originally we were playing them like that, but we're playing them like this now because Hoyland is definitely not a channel forward. Still can't really find a great place for Ahmad. I guess he could play on the right, he can play on the left, but overall he's not as good as the two that we've had on the wing, so I'd rather just not keep him in. One lad I've moved up to the senior team just for the end of the season is Chris Gray. He is only shown as a National League level player now, but he's got big potential. He's English, he obviously came through the academy. He nearly scored on his debut, but it was offside. I was gutted. So he's just brought in just to cover because we don't really have another striker, so just someone to come off the bench when we need it and to give a little bit of game time to. But yeah, he's someone we'll definitely keep an eye on. I don't know how long this season's series is gonna last. Ideally, Man United's our last club because I don't see us, unless we get a big offer from another Premier League club, I don't see us moving, and I don't really see the need to. I think there's enough money and there's enough money at the club to at least turn it into a team that can win a Champions League. I don't think the squad as is good enough to win a Champions League. But to be fair, we only went out in very late fashion to City, and it was very unfortunate that we had the red card that pretty much ruined us. And really, this run of form is the worst it's been, to be totally honest. In terms of building for next season, I definitely think we need defenders. We definitely need a right back. As much as I liked Wesley at the start, he's absolutely dropped off. So definitely right backs. I definitely think we need a centre back as well, or two. I do like Estrada, and I think he's got big potential, but probably someone that's more for the future. We probably need a couple better centre backs now, or at least one centre back that's better now to come up and partner with him. I'm happy with Dorgu at left back. I'm happy with Shea Charles. We probably need another DM, which I think we've done already a bit of business on. We probably need some wingers, and we probably need a really good striker to partner Etta E. Young. Hoyland's been top scorer, and he's been okay, but against like the good sides, he hasn't really turned up. The good news is we have gone 1-0 up early doors here. Shea Charles with the goal to make it United 1, Ipswich 0. Obviously, these lads are bottom of the league, so they are pretty much a championship side, so we should be winning this game. Pajotto with lots of space on the edge of the box. He makes it 2, and these are the kind of goals we don't score against other sides because we don't get that much space to be shooting from distance. But 2-0, both goals coming from the midfield. You love to see it. But yeah, I definitely think we just need new players in a lot of positions. But we'll get our first proper pre-season. Obviously, don't forget this was us coming into the team without really, we just got dropped into a terrible situation. We turned it round. It's only really been this back end of the season, these last few games where we've dropped off. And unfortunately, we've just probably had too many points to try and make up. And we've just not been able to close the gap and get ourselves into Europe, which is a huge shame. We'll try and win both games today. It definitely looks like we're going to win one here. And you never know the way that the Premier League goes sometimes. I think depending on who wins certain competitions and stuff, you sometimes get it all the way down to like 8th or 9th. So there's every chance we could sneak some form of Europe. Even if we were just in the Conference League, I'd enjoy that. Just so we had something we could actually try and win. Obviously, the ultimate goal of the save is to win the Champions League. We're obviously not going to do that next season because we're not going to be in the Champions League. But if we were in the Conference or even better, Europa, we'd have a chance at winning that to double chance at qualification. And unfortunately, we are out of all the cups as well. So I really wanted to get far in the FA Cup, but that was sandwiched in between some Champions League games. So unfortunately, yeah, we did go out to that, and we basically went out. We weren't still in the League Cup when we joined. Looks like we've got a penalty as well. So we didn't really have much chance. I think the Champions League was our best effort. We got past Chelsea, should I say. So we did what we could, but unfortunately, the red card in the City game just absolutely killed us, and we really struggled to get back into it. But even then, it was only 3-2 on aggregate, with one of those games being down to 10 men for all of it. So I don't think you can really even hold it against that. Pajotto steps up over the penalty. It's not a great penalty. He's kind of awkwardly hit it, but it's 4-0 early doors, and this must be a very, very poor Ipswich side because they are getting battered by us, and we, like I say, have not been on a great run. But thankfully, we're just showing we are good when we're against a rubbish side. It's just when we play a good side, we're not so good. So I don't really know what to make of this squad. I think obviously there's a lot of stuff we're going to do. In terms of first team players, it's not going to be overhauling the first team so much. It's more the depth. I think we obviously could do with some better first team players in a couple positions like centre back, right back, striker. But I like Truk, I like Ahmad, I like Batista, Jakob, I like Shea Charles, I like Pajotto, I like Etta Young, Hoyland, Dorgu, the goalkeeper's fine. It's not that we need to upheaval the entire squad. It's just we need to be better. But I honestly think a full season with us in charge will get ourselves into Europe next year. I don't know exactly whether it'll be Champions League or whether it'll be Europa, but as long as we get some form of Europe next year, I think that's got to be the main aim, and then try and push for top 4. I don't think we'll be in for a title challenge, being perfectly honest. But looking at the top end of the table this year, it was not very it's very close. I was going to show you it, but there's another highlight. It's very close, and I think Spurs, who are top of the league, are only on 70-odd points. Like, I think they'll finish with less than 80, which for a title-winning season is crazy. Højlund, Rasmus makes it 5. We did actually get a bid for Højlund from Inter, but it was like 45 million, which is perfectly fine. I wasn't, I wasn't upset with the valuation, but they wanted us to pay 125 grand of selling wage contribution. I'm not paying 125 grand a week for a player who's not here. That makes 0 sense. Yeah, we've done really well. Let's bring the youngster on. Why not? So Chris Gray's going to come on for Etta E. Young. He can run the channels. Divac can come on for Ray Charles. Xavier can come on for Jakob. And Ahmad can come on for Truk. And I think that's pretty much everyone we'd actually want to bring on. I think the rest of the boys are all leaving us. We've had a couple of big bids for players who will be leaving us. As you know, could notice Calafiori is transferring out. Like I say, we'll cover that next episode on what exactly that deal is. Keep you in suspense just a little bit. But yeah, we actually got a good bid for him and for Varea, who's barely played. So the fact that we were able to actually sell them for money is quite pleasing. But we have absolutely dominated this game. So clearly, whatever we played here, we should just be playing this again. Rasmus with a very awkward ball out to Calafiori, but he has made it. Falls to Divac, who hits one from distance, and I thought he was going to get himself on the sheet. Unfortunately not. And this is a really good 45 minutes for Gray to show what he can do. Obviously, he's only a National League player. Not really expect him to do too well. But I'm not against keeping someone like that in the squad just as a youngster to bring on. It's probably better for him if he goes back to the under-18s after this, after the season, just to obviously get more game time. We obviously don't want to be, he's not going to start any games for us. But it's whipped in. There is Gray. Oh, Gray nearly got himself his first ever senior goal for the club. That would have been special. I would have loved that. But yeah, we do have a couple of players who have got some potential at the club. No crazy wonder kids or anything, but there is obviously a good setup at United, so there is every chance we will introduce youngsters into the first team where we can. Obviously, there's no one really ready just yet, but you never know. And Gray is through, 1-on-1, and Chris Gray gets his first goal for the club. It's United 6, Ipswich 0, but it doesn't matter. The youngsters come on and got his first ever senior goal, his first goal. He'll remember that forever. And Chris Gray, who I think has got big potential. Now, whether we'll be in the save long enough for him to do it, we may be. He may actually be around long enough to do it. You never know. He's National League now. If he can improve quickly, the facilities here are pretty good. If he can improve quickly... Oh my God, I thought Chris Gray got 2. If he can improve quickly, you never know. We might be able to get him involved. If he ends up being like a championship level player, we will absolutely get him involved. And there is Gray with it. Oh, it was a good ball to Xavier. He's playing well above someone who's National League level. Clearly full of confidence in this game, and we are absolutely cruising. You'd look at this and think we were an unbelievable side, but somehow we are only mid-table. The Premier League, definitely a cruel mistress this season. But yeah, Dorgu down the left-hand side has... no one really in front of him, goes himself, swings one in. Xavier's there, and even Xavier's getting in on it. He's someone who's really struggled to get consistent game time under me and hasn't really ever done well when we've brought him on. But thankfully, he has got himself a goal there. Great ball from Dorgu. It's 7-0. It's almost bordering on far too easy. We will make one last change because why not? We'll bring Bidstrup on for Pajotto, just to make the change. Maybe we should have just saved it in case we got an injury. But we are absolutely leathering these. These must be a honking side because they have really struggled against us today. And Tottenham are actually losing 3-0. Sepp Vandenberg scored against them. Wow, can't believe he's still playing. Bidstrup, I mean, that's poor. There's a reason he's out of contract at the end of the year, and there's a reason we're not extending it. There is also a handful of players who were out on loan when we joined the club, and a couple that we loaned out ourselves as well. So they'll all obviously be returning to us, and there's a number of them that are still under contract. I don't think we're going to involve any of them in the first team. We will just be trying to move them on, either loan them back out again or sell them. But we'll obviously know once they return whether there's anyone we want to involve. But Xavier makes it 8. It's very easy now. It's very easy now. Bidstrup with the assist. Yeah, these are getting an absolute punishing for their effort. And if it does come down to goal difference, this is definitely going to help. I don't know where this rocks us up to 10th, which, to be fair, with a game left, we could still get 8th or 9th. You never know. We could even still get 7th, which could be Europa League. So it's not all said and done. If we beat Birmingham, it could come down to goal difference, and we may actually get ourselves a place in Europe yet. It is still potentially possible. I don't think it'll happen because the teams above us are probably likely to win their games, but you never really know. And if we can beat Birmingham, which we should be based on this performance because we've been really good today, you never know. We might just sneak something. Like I say, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th could be something. At the minute, it looks like it's only going to be down to 6th, but there's always things that can change. I don't think the FA Cup will have been played by yet, so I assume whoever wins that will probably knock it down to 7th in the league as well. But I guess we won't really know. Xavier plays it through to Gray, and Chris Gray's made it too. Oh, we're definitely keeping this lad involved for the last game of the season anyway. I want to keep him in. I love a youngster. We want to get it, not like that, but I want to get a youngster involved. I feel like it's the United way to get the youngsters involved, and Chris Gray has got himself a second. Now, obviously, it was quite an easy win in the end. I was slagging us off saying how bad we were, but we've done really well there. 9-0. That is hard to take if you made the trip from Ipswich to United. It's not the furthest trip, but if you've made that trip, you are feeling sick. You probably left at half-time, to be fair. All right, let's go play the last game of the season. Let's go play Birmingham. And you never know, we might still yet be able to claw something. So for our last game of the season, we are playing Birmingham. We're going with the exact same side. Tor and Wesley are still injured, so they are not involved. We will, of course, be bringing Chris Gray off the bench if we are winning this game. We are big on Chris Gray, the youngster. He's got a big future, I'm sure of it. He will be good. Promise me. I promise you, he will be good. We're playing Birmingham, who are sitting in mid-table, who've actually done quite well, to be fair, to be just mid-table. So there's every chance this is pointless and we're not going to get anything out of it. Obviously, it depends on how other results go. But there is a chance, a small sliver of a chance, that we may still get Europe. We may, even I'd love, if you offered me Conference League, I'd love it. I'd love it. Because not playing Europe doesn't get us any closer to winning the Champions League. Obviously, Conference League doesn't get us any closer, but it's another competition. We could rotate some youngsters in. We could get some of the fringe players more game time. We could even try and win it. You know, that would be another trophy, and probably not a trophy that I don't... Yeah, the club's never won a Conference League because they're probably never in that competition, really. So it's a chance for us to win something we never normally win. I think it's... I would love to be in Europe of some form, whether it's, you know, Europa or Conference, but I don't know how it's all going to pan out. I know that the league can get a little bit confusing with what positions exactly get you Europe, but there's every chance we could do it, and we have got off to a good start. Jakob smashes one. I think it actually hit off a defender, absolutely changed the directory of the shot, and it's 1-0 to United. And what does that do for the table? Let's pull it up. Well, we are up in 8th. So as it stands, we are 8th. We are 7th. This is looking promising. If we finish 7th, I think that would be Conference League because normally the FA Cup winner knocks it down to 7th. We'll have to check who's in the FA Cup after this if we even finish 7th. And I think sometimes you get extra spots anyway, like 5th can sometimes become a Champions League member. It's all very confusing. Jakob swings it in. Oh, what a save. I don't know if that's a poor shot or a very good save. I feel like it's a really good save. I've got a feeling Chris Gray would have buried that, personally. But Etta Young, yeah, I don't even think it's a bad shot. I think it's just a great save. So we are up in 7th. If we'd have just won it, if we'd have just beat West Ham, this would have been so clear. Would have just been up there. It would have been job done. Nevertheless, still only the one goal, though. We don't want to count our chickens before they're hatched. And their goalkeeper, oh, he's had a mare. He's let the ball go. Hoyland's racing through. And it's the easiest... Well, I mean, the angle was a little bit tight. He's somehow assisted himself, the first man to ever assist himself. But the goalkeeper's had an absolute mare. It hasn't gone down in his assist. But yeah, I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing there. After pulling off such a great save, he's tried to do it. Is that Kobbie Mainoo? Wow, how the mighty have fallen. Kobbie Mainoo playing for Birmingham. Yeah, clearly never got over the issues that plague him at United currently. And now he's found himself at Birmingham. Losing 2-0 at home to us. Oh my God, my voice is going. Done a lot of speaking at work today, so my voice is going. Apologies. Delict into Jakob. Jakob plays it over to Young. It's a good finish, but poor goalkeeping, but it must be offside. He's got to be offside. It's United 3, Birmingham 0, but I have every belief VAR are going to rule this one out, and they have ruled it out. Still 2-0. I think this is looking job done, and I think Young's on the chopping board for Gray at half-time. I want to get Gray on again. If we get another goal from Gray, we're keeping him in the squad next season. I don't care if he's a National League player. I see a youngster with potential. I see the United future. I want to get him in. Jakob plays it back to De Ligt into Calafiori. Calafiori with men ahead of him. Plays into Højlund. Back to Jakob, and it's a good save. And I think Højlund could have done a bit better there. I think he could have carried it around rather than trying to play it back in. I don't think the shot was necessarily on for Jakob. I think if he plays it around, there's then a ball across the face of goal to Etta Young. That gets us the third. But nevertheless, Højlund into Jakob. He's got men in front of him, but he goes for the wide option in Calafiori. Comes back in for Jakob. We are playing some good stuff. Birmingham can't really get close to us. Calafiori, good ball over the top. Some poor defending, and Højlund's done it again. And this goalkeeper, I don't know, is he good? Is he bad? I don't really know. But it didn't look like the most comfortable save. But then he's pulled off an unbelievable save earlier. Don't know, but again, we should probably be going outside rather than trying to force it down the middle. But it is what it is. A ball in the box from the throw, doesn't find anyone, but it's well won back from Charles, who does end up losing out to it and gives away a free kick. Not really sure what the point of that highlight was, because nothing really came of it. Still 2-0 though. We are in absolute cruise control. We are down to 8th though, because Brighton must be winning their game. So hopefully other results help us out, and we do finish 7th. Like I say, 8th still could be good. Even 9th could still be good. I really don't know. I have every belief that we're probably not getting any Europe now. And we may not even know by the end of this episode if we're going to get Europe as well, because there may be other games that we need to see the conclusion of. Oh, that's a great save from Torres. Some poor defending, but it's a great save from Torres. But we'll absolutely be confirming it, obviously, next episode, because next episode will be the transfer special. We'll probably get our budgets at the end of this as well, so we'll know whether the board are truly backing us to go and have a big summer. Obviously, we have spent a bit of money as well. We've already got 120, even if we just keep what we've already got, which is 120 million, that is more than good enough for me. We've got about 70 million in the red in the bank, but I think there's about 200 million that comes in sponsorship at the end of the year, so I think we'll be okay money-wise. Money-wise, we will sub off Etta Young. We're bringing the youngster on again, Chris Gray, if he can get another. He's already got 2 goals to his name as a United striker. That's a great return. Hopefully he can get another today. I'd love to keep him in the squad, but I do also want him to progress. Arsenal at the top of the league. Like I say, 78 points to win the league. It's not very high. If we can get somewhat consistent next year, there's every chance we could even be within a title challenge. There really is. There really, really is. But yeah, still 2-0. It seems like it's quietened down a little bit. Dorgu's pretty tired, so we're going to put Calafiori onto the left-hand side. And I guess we bring Ahmad at right back. I know he's more of a wing back, if anything. We'll bring Xavier on as well, because he did quite well when he came on. But a little bit maybe dodgy putting Ahmad at right back when we're only 2-0 up, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, if it's a mistake, then we'll correct it. But Jakob wins the ball back. Oh, get it into Gray. Let's get it into Gray. Shea Charles, get it into Gray. It's Truk. Can he find Gray in the middle? Into Shea Charles. Pass it to Gray. Oh, Shea Charles. Selfish, man. Great finish from Shea Charles, to be fair. Makes it 3-0. Wanted to see Gray get on the end of it. He's my new favourite, but it is what it is. Shea Charles makes it 3, and we will confirm those subs. Get the tired boys on. Get the youngsters, get some rotation players on. Weirdly for Ahmad, he may kick off. And I think this is one aspect of Football Manager that's maybe not as realistic. He clearly isn't under favour for me anymore. I feel like he should be kicking off and wanting to move, because I'm not really starting him. I'm bringing him off the bench a lot, and we're playing him at right back. We're going to bring Divac on. We'll also bring... I don't really want to bring another striker on. We don't really have another striker, so I guess we'll just bring one on. We'll bring Divac on, who, again, is still someone who's probably not that good, but has some potential, so I do want to keep him around. Ball in the box. Oh, if Højlund could have knocked it down to Gray there, that would have been humongous. Voice is going again, but Birmingham are actually getting themselves forward, and there's a couple tired legs at the back, but Torres does enough to tip it over for a corner. still looking to make a change, and the change has gone through now. Divac comes on for Shea Charles, who was obviously pretty tired. The goal scorer. Oh, it's Ahmad. He doesn't win the header. It's Birmingham with one back. Hopefully it's not going to make a difference, but little Ahmad, did not win his header. He's not a right back. Even if he's not a right back, we shouldn't be putting him on that for the set piece. That's just... I don't do the set pieces. That's down to the set piece coach, and he's had a mare there. Divac into Calafiori, who is leaving us, but he has, done pretty well. Chris Gray. Oh, what a ball that is, Chris Gray. No, that was the other player's fault. Chris Gray, that was not his fault. And you know what? Look at him tracking back to try and win it back after the mistake anyway. That's all. I don't know, maybe that was Divac. Maybe it was Divac who gave it away, actually. I don't think Chris Gray was even involved in that. Let's not slate him. Chris Gray is a brilliant young player, and he's going to have a massive future. The next Wayne Rooney, I reckon. Birmingham, though, trying to get themselves back in the game. Obviously, they don't really have anything to play for. We have maybe the slightest chance of Europe. They really don't have anything to play for. They're not going to go down, and they're just pretty much trying to finish as high as possible. But they have got themselves another chance. But thankfully, this time, it's offside. We don't need to worry about it. I am slightly concerned about Ahmad playing at right back now, but hopefully the time will just run out. We don't need to worry about it. Clearly, Brighton are losing because we're back to 7th, although that was only very temporarily because West Ham are now 7th and we're down to 8th. I think it's going to go until the final whistle. I think our result is probably secure. A goal from Chris Gray would just wrap it up nicely. Troop, find Gray. Find Gray. He's in the middle. Gray, make yourself known, lad. Oh, Gray. He needs to shout for it. Calafiori into Divac, who has an effort from distance. We're having a lot of efforts from distance. I want to see us get more balls into the box. Gray was screaming for it there. Not how I want us to play. Diallo standing over the corner. We're all very much at the front post. I think it was it was Delict. Got his head to it. I thought it might have been Calafiori, but it was Delict. Gets his head to it, but unfortunately goes over the bar. And don't forget, Delict is tied down for next season. He was originally out of contract, but we extended it because he had an extension on his contract. I very much want him to just be a rotation player next year. I don't want to see him playing more than 15 games. I think that should, as a last season, be fine. We definitely need to be moving on from players like that. Lovely cutting from Ahmad. Oh my word. Ahmad Diallo from right back. I mean, that's what happens when you play right back as a winger because you get so much more space. He's just opened up his body. What a finish that is. Maybe we need to get him involved more next season because he was brilliant there. 4-1 win. In the end, we finished 8th. Probably not enough. Brentford finishing 6th. That's a very good season from them. But yeah, probably not enough for Europe, I wouldn't think. Have we got our budgets? I don't know. We've got 25 million, but we paid out 4.4. Spurs won the league. Bloody hell. What is this topsy-turvy multiverse that we are living in? Spurs have won the league with 80 points. They lost 8 games and won the league. Very Spursy. Very Spursy indeed. Well, I don't think we'll be getting Europe. We haven't even got our budgets. There we go. The budgets have come in. QPR being promoted. How's the playoffs? Okay, so it's pretty much what we had. Yeah, they've not really taken anything away. And they want us to get into the Champions League next season. They haven't said. Best of the rest. I don't even know what that means. Well, we got an A+ in the end. We did finish 8th, which to be fair, I think they were about 15th when we took over. So we've definitely improved it. And we at least had a good end to the season with 2 big wins. So we come into it with a bit of momentum. But yeah, we definitely need to be around here next year. We definitely need to be breaking top 4. 5th at worst, I think. Top 5, I think. We need to be finishing there. So I'll continue a couple times. Yeah, we're pretty much... Okay, so this is where I would normally start a thing. So they want us to qualify for the Europa League. So they want us... So I was right. 5th. 5th is right. So, okay. So we'll leave it there. I don't know about the FA Cup, whether that's still going on. I guess the Champions League's probably still going on as well. So Liverpool are in the Champions League, so if they win that... Oh, Liverpool finished 12th, so actually that would put them back in the Champions League. So I actually think that's negative. I don't think we want them to win the Champions League. Who's in the FA Cup? Is that finished? West Ham won the FA Cup, which gets them Europa League. They finished 7th. I don't think we're getting Europe. I don't think we're getting Europe. So unless something really weird happens, I don't think we're getting Europe. It's winner of the FA Cup, which was West Ham. So I don't know what happens, if I'm totally honest. I think 8th either way is probably nothing. So, yeah. Oh well, disappointment, but it is what it is. We'll end it there, and next episode will be the transfer special. We've got a big budget. We've got a lot of transfers in and out we've already done. Guardiola's been sacked by City. What? We couldn't, could we? Imagine that. Imagine that. We won't. We won't do that. That would be crazy. Where did they finish in the league? Below us. Oh, no. Who do they have? They've still got Doku. You know what? I don't even like the look of it. We wouldn't do that to United anyway. Right, we'll leave it there. We'll come back. Next episode will be the transfer special, and hopefully we can build a side capable of finishing in the top 5 next season. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the UK Journeyman, and I'll see you all for more very soon.